Live images this morning of the finance minister going and presenting her budget to Union President Draupadi Murmu. And interesting there because Sonia Gandhi yesterday ended up scoring a bit of a self-goal, Rajdeep, saying that poor president. I mean, you know, why, even if that's what you're thinking, why would you say that? That's just the most bizarre thing to say.
I don't want to argue with you, but Rahul, I'm sure your English is a bit better than most. I mean, it's lost in translation. To say poor thing is not something of derision. You see, the problem is our politics is so polarized and so low level now that you're looking to somehow or the other create weapons of mass destruction.
But why call the president a poor thing?
No. Look, she said, that's what I said. You've studied English. I mean, it's not derision, it's sympathetic. I mean, my limited point is that the real issue of our times? You see, the problem is we look at sound bites, you will play it all day on the channel, it will become the subject of debate, another weapon of mass destruction. Let's focus on the state of the economy. Just like the chief economic advisor was honest and candid in his survey, I believe that the President of India was, as usual, painting a rosy picture and not telling us the reality. All these president speeches or governor speeches, frankly, in states are all designed to promote the government of the day. We've got to start becoming honest with the people of this country. We have not been honest for the last 10 years. And as our newsman, we've got to start telling the truth.
No, of course, which is
now, if it's poor thing, say poor thing. What's wrong?
No, why is she a poor thing? Why call the president a poor thing?
Long speech where you're not really telling things as they are. Is it a weapon of mass destruction? I mean, you could argue that, what else would she have said? I feel sorry for her. I mean, she's a politician. Let's be fair to... You see, bashing the Gandhis is a blood sport now. You can bash them for numerous things. Do you bash them for saying, President poor thing, or Rahul Gandhi saying the speech was boring? What the politician bolega. But does that become the topic of a debate? And then the president responds to it and says, I feel hurt. The prime minister goes into a speech. It is classic weapons of mass distraction. The real focus, as should be on this program, should be what are we going to do to revive the animal spirits of this economy. If we can't do that, we must stop making excuses. As I said, your headline should be no excuses budget. The excuses are over. For the last 10 years, Siddharth Zarabi, we have given some excuse or the other to give the government a free pass.
I would like to say that we have seen a number of important reforms being implemented in the last 10 years. I don't think there have been excuses in the last 10 years.
But
especially now that we are talking about labor, we are talking about implementing of labor codes. This was not even discussed 10 years ago.
Where has it happened?
Well,
it's not happened. Every government talks about it.
No, not every government.
Give me the reforms.
Parliament has passed the codes. Parliament has passed the codes. Soon it will be implemented this year. Let's wait for that.
BJP decade average growth is 6%. We need to grow at 8-9%. Tell me, how are we going to do that?
They have set the standard. I'm sure they will live up to it. If they don't, we should counter them. Absolutely. But the point is, the way labor codes have been brought to the center of the debate.
They should
Earlier, no one even talked about this subject. So that just shows how the reform bar has been raised, the way expectations have been raised, and obviously, we should hold the government to its own word.
But these kind of reforms, I'm telling you, for 25 years, I mean, this must be my 30th or 31st budget or whatever. And every year there is, so labor has been an issue since the 90s. So when Manmohan Singh's, it was an issue, Arun Jaitley had a committee looking at it, labor laws, when he was law minister. Then UPA came. Manmohan Singh had a new phraseology, national manufacturing competitiveness, which was basically put all the eggs in that thing and say, okay, can we make something out of it? Nothing. He had one of the finest bureaucrats India has produced, V. Krishnamurthy leading that committee. Nothing happened. Okay. Then this government comes in. 2015, first Piyush Goyal sort of starts off with this idea that, and it was, I think, done in a presentation to Amidst when he was party president, that we should reform these laws. So new labor law code was brought in. It was sent to all the states. Then the states had various stories about it. So 2019, that labor code was rewritten. In 2025, the deadline for adopting a draft, not a law, a draft, has been set on March 31st or something. Now, this thing is happening despite the fact that over the last 8-9 years, as Rahul rightly mentioned, that the BJP has been power in 15 of the states. So every time the parliament, this question comes up in parliament and I look at the data on how many states have done or not done. It's very difficult to, because there are some parts that have been accepted, some parts that have not been accepted. So you don't know. I mean,
But Rajiv is right to say that reform intent has been shown.
No,
one doubts. I don't think anyone should doubt the reform intent. Question is, India doesn't live in Delhi, it lives in the states.
Make a point on that.
Yeah.
So, I'm just looking at in the US, for instance, the states there have the freedom to raise their state taxes. They have the freedom to collect revenues. They have they're accountable. They have their own bonds. Here, we are dependent too much on the center, and the country is far bigger than a central can actually oversee. So we need better governance, accountability of the states. And it would be great if we have state budgets being presented and you're giving them the same kind of scrutiny that you're doing.
Because a lot of
Just one quick point, Rahul. On the point of labor reforms, look at it from the government side. We have had these conversations with people in the government. There is lack of trust on private corporate sector, a private corporate sector that has seen its profits grow quite well, but wage growth they are not doing. I don't think it's easy for the government of the day, considering the politics of a nation, to simply create a situation where the opposition says government is allowing hire and fire in the private sector. There is a gap of trust, and that's why I say private sector investment and the perception that it is creating wage growth is also important. Governments cannot give
And it's not just the center. Punita is right, it's states. I mean, see what happened with the farm laws. How effectively one state of Punjab was able to eventually derail farm laws. And the real challenge is you're going to have state after state with very high debts. Maharashtra, India's powerhouse, is going to have a budget soon with an 8.5 lakh crore debt.
Give the same scrutiny on these budgets as you do at the center.
It's a good idea.